Welcome back to Houston Life. Our next guest is a former engineer turned holistic pet health coach who is positively passionate about that's right, about sharing what she's learned with other pet parents.
Yeah, she has teamed up with Bark to host a special pet nutrition class this Sunday focused on making healthy eating for pets more accessible and more affordable for families. Please welcome Elizabeth Casas to Houston Life. It's great to meet you, and I think this is fascinating work. It all stems from your lovely cat, Lumiere. Lumiere got very, very sick, and you were essentially told that the cat was on its last breath.
Oh my God, that was part of the beginning of this. So Lumiere was 4 years old and he started feeling really crummy. He's gorgeous, and he, he was throwing up, he wasn't eating, he was just under a chair, just curled up, and you can tell he was just sick.
Yeah.
Took him to the vet, and the vet said he has pancreatitis. I'm like, okay, so what do you do? So he said, I have to keep him overnight, we have to give him fluids. Next day I come in and they give him to me, and they send me with a prescription diet and some anti-nausea pills. And you think, okay, this is gonna fix my cat, I'm gonna be fine. The prescription diet being very, very expensive. So I go home, a week later, he's again throwing up, he's not eating, he's not drinking, his hair's starting to fall off. He really looks very crummy. So I bring him in and they said, we need to keep him overnight again. 2 nights after that, they call me and they say, listen, you have to come in. There is nothing we can do for Lumiere. So the only thing we can do is just keep him comfortable until he passes. And I'm like, wait, he's 4,
right?
He's a baby.
Yeah.
What have I done wrong? Like, what's going on with him? And I have a Latin American background, and I know that food and nutrition is the first medicine that you can bring. Yeah. And I said, I'm gonna call a veterinarian that is in Colombia, and I said, maybe they can give me a glimmer of hope here. So I took him out, the veterinarian looked, and he said, you know what? Go and buy some chicken breast, no fat, boil it, give that to him, and give him some probiotic yogurt. And I did that, and a week later, he was a lot better. He was doing great. He's 10 years old today.
Oh my God.
And we just saw photos of him.
That is him.
Fluffy,
Yeah.
He looks
and
regal.
And
yes.
regal.
Yeah.
He is majestic.
Wow. So instead of, and again, vets are, there he is today.
Gorgeous.
Look at this sweet little Lumiere. I can't imagine.
10 years old now.
Had this story ended differently when he was just 4 years old. But
4 years old.
So part of what you're doing then, you really want to educate pet owners and empower them to ask questions. Veterinarians, we love them, of course. They're overwhelmed, right? Especially
They are
Houston.
overwhelmed right now. And after COVID, a lot of people have more pets, and there's not as many veterinarians out there. So they are great. But what I do want to do, so you said the word, is empower pet owners to take an active role in their pet's health. Because the feelings that I was feeling at that moment was frustration. Helplessness. Like, what do I do? If it hadn't been for my friend, I would have nowhere to go. So I want to help people have a place to go to make those hard decisions. And also teach them to, how do they take this active role? How does nutrition play a role into bringing health and longevity to your friends? Right? Your pets. So that's exactly what I want to do.
So can you give us an example of how you feed Lumiere, how you would feed a pet? Because are you cooking all day? I mean, how does it work? We're looking at a sample right now. What is this?
That is what I feed Lumiere before I cook it. And so cats are mandatory carnivores. The majority you want to give them is protein and, give them meat. But it's not as complicated as it sounds. You really just get all the ingredients. They have to be balanced. You have to talk to someone that knows. This is not something you do on your own. You put them in a crock pot, you wait for 8 hours, and then you have a batch for 2 to 3 weeks.
Oh, wow.
Perfect.
So you don't have to be thinking, what am I going to do for breakfast? No.
So you're meal prepping for your pet.
Exactly.
The same as many humans meal prep.
Yeah.
Or we should meal prep.
Exactly. You're meal prepping and you don't have to worry about it. And then you rotate it. This is one of the recipes, but then I rotate it with turkey, I rotate it with meat, I rotate it with tilapia. I give different things. So this is Choco. This is one of my clients. And he also changed his food. He's eating meat here. And the best part, they love it.
Oh, I can't imagine.
They cannot have enough of it.
Forget the kibble. We want the crock pot. We want the crock pot. So this is what the whole thing is about this weekend, right? Is you're teaching people to kind of adopt this method? Is that what's going to be taught in the class, in the course?
So the course is really giving some easy tools to start that transition. Pet parents sometimes feel overwhelmed. There's so much information. There's internet people saying it should be raw food, it should be cooked food. No, you should do freeze-dried. There's so much out there. There's so many supplements, like there's millions of supplements. So where do you start? And it's really not that hard. So we're gonna give some tools during this class. What I can tell you is four things that you need to think about. Number one, and I think is the most important to me, and it should be to all pet parents, and is know your pet. Right? We have a responsibility because they can't talk. They can't tell us how they feel. They can't tell us if they have cravings. Like if we don't eat a balanced meal, we get a craving for something that we need, we go and have it. But our pets don't have that ability. So know your pet. Step number one, you can do a snout to tail assessment every week. Like you are the ambassador for your pet. Know your pet and know when things change. So you look at their nose, is it cracked, is it dry? You look at the ears, you smell it, you go through their bags, their paws, and you make a journal. What did I find? And you put a benchmark. This is the normal for my pet. When you do it the next week, maybe you find a little bump somewhere, and that could help you get ahead of something that's potential harming, and you can do a small tweak. So number one, know your pet and be that ambassador that they need you to be.
These are such great tips.
Really
and
are.
Elizabeth, I'm so glad to know you. I feel like it takes a special person to connect with animals in that way. And what you said, I think, rings so true. The most important medicine we can give ourselves as humans is what we're eating,
Starting
our diet.
from the food,
and the
right.
same goes for our pets. And when it comes to this meal prep, what I like about the images you shared, chicken, zucchini, carrots,
Fresh.
these are things that would appear in many people's refrigerators anyway.
Exactly.
And so maybe people can just make a little changes or tweaks so that when they're preparing their own meals, their pet's meal can be on the counter as well.
That is a fantastic idea. That's absolutely what you should do. And actually, buying the food for my pets is making me healthier too. Because now I have the veggies there, I make them for me, I make them for them.
So
really cool.
Really cool. And your seminars at Bark, and you're hoping to do this with other, animal places, other shelters, so that people can just get this knowledge.
Yes, I'm hoping to do this with other shelters or other shops that want to help me do this. I'm thinking about doing a seminar online, and you can definitely always call me. I am just launching my program on Sunday. My program is called From Heart to Paw, and it's a 90-day holistic journey for the wellness and harmony of your pet. And what that entails is really I help you go through a process of 90 days or 60 days to different things. So you ask me, how can you help me? I can help people that are not ready to move away from kibble, but want some ideas on how to do it on a budget, and that I can help you with that.
Awesome.
I can help you with.
We're gonna put all of that online because yes, we had so much information.
gosh.
We're so appreciative to you. So
Elizabeth
we're gonna have a link.
Casas,
Yes.
Thank you so much. Yeah, HoustonLife.tv. Check out that scene on Houston Life section. Thanks so much.
Thank you.